This is the third installment on the discussion between Etsko, Schuitema and Armand Kruger on the care and growth leadership model.
I also know that under the heading of grow, you deal specifically with the nature of this phenomenon called power. How do you think about it differently from the current thinking models about power?
There's the word power comes with a very bad and politically incorrect rap. People think of sort of men with little moustaches and goose-stepping subordinates who talk power, and that's not at all useful, because I mean, you can't dismiss power from the human condition, because if there aren't big ones and little ones, then we couldn't be parents, there couldn't be children. So how we've come to grips with this problem is to say, listen, there's a difference between the issue of power and control. And that difference becomes apparent when you ask yourself, who's the boss that is genuinely powerful? The boss that people are going to work for because they have to, or the boss that people are going to work for because they want to? And clearly it's the latter. It's the boss that people are going to work for because they want to. And the reason for that is that when people work for a boss because they want to, they're loyal to that boss. They want the boss to succeed. In other words, you only have power if you have the loyalty of the people who are subordinate to you on your side. When you don't have that loyalty, then you've got to start doing things to them, artificial things to them, to compel out of them what you want. Those things that you do to compel out of them what you want, we call control. So we distinguish between power and control. We say power is based on authentic loyalty and respect, and is really concerned with the degree to which the subordinate thinks that the boss is there to care for them and grow them. Control is concerned with all the things that you do to squeeze effort out of people when you don't have that first moment of legitimacy.
Okay. This care and grow is in a sense one of the distinct features of the Schuitema model. But you also have a particular take on what it means to be a leader. What is your take on leadership? I mean, there's a typical definitions that a leader gets results through people. And I know that makes your hair stand on end. So why don't we start with a typical definition?
Okay. Well, if the leader's view is that my job is to achieve a result through people, clearly what he's doing is he's turning people into a resource to produce an outcome that he wants. So fundamentally he's there to take from people. And I mean, if you just shifted frame to another context, like in a sporting analogy, you know, it becomes apparent just how crazy the idea is to say that leadership is about achieving a result through people. If you have a look at the role that a coach plays for a team, in a team sport, for instance, you get similar variables that you have at work. You have the one who's in charge, the coach. You then have a team who play the game, and then you get a game that gets played and a result of the game that gets played. Now, I'm sure if a coach went to a team and said to the team, listen team, my job as the coach is to achieve a result, and I'm going to use you, the players, as my resources to achieve that result, they'd probably want to do something terrible to his cat, if nothing else, you know, because it's extremely arrogant. I mean, who do you think you are, Mr. Coach? I mean, surely, you know, the person who produces the result is the athlete. But that doesn't mean to say the coach doesn't have a job, you know. The coach's job is to coach the athlete, is to care for and grow the athlete. Which means, if the coach's deliverable is an enabled athlete, this does not suggest that the coach doesn't have an interest in the game that's being played, in other words, the job that's being done or the result that's being achieved. However, those two things become his means to achieve the cultivating of the athlete. In other words, the coach goes to the game on Saturday, he looks at what's happening on the scoreboard, he needs that information to do his job, which is to coach the player on Wednesday. So rather than using the person as his means whereby he gets a job done and achieves a result, he uses the job and the result as his means whereby he enables or coaches the athlete. He literally flips it. And when he gets that right, when he uses the task and the result as his means to enable the athlete, he changes the transactional, or if you like, the intent implication of his relationship with the subordinate, from what he's getting from the subordinate to how he can be helpful to the subordinate.